Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bui and this is your favorite channel. Okay, as you have seen on my description of the video, today's video it's quite a personal one. How so? It's because I will be sharing a bit of stories my nephews and I always talk about, and I'm also going to be getting from them how they feel about having an auntie who is a little person. So this one you can also get your kids to watch it because they could also be learning something from this video. Now, before I can get to the questions with my kids, let me share these few stories with you. So, every time I have a nephew called Letabo. Letabo didn't want to eat beans, okay? Letabo didn't want to eat beans. And so I told Letabo that when he was growing up, I told him that he needs to eat beans because if he does not eat beans, he won't grow any taller. And then he looked at me. And then I know that look. It had a question. And then after looking at me, you know what Letabo said? Letabo asked me, so auntie, since I don't want to eat beans and I won't grow any taller, so is that what happened to you? You didn't eat beans. I found that very funny, but I had to explain to the kid why I'm like this, and it had nothing to do with beans. Okay, so I did explain to Letabo what happened, and then Letabo once again, I think now he was about 8 years. He is asking me, he was actually voicing out his concern. And then he was like, you know what, Auntie Ne? I think you should get a taller boyfriend or a taller man or a taller husband. And then I'm like, why can't I get a man or a husband as tall as you are, because we are almost the same height? And then he was like, no, auntie, no, not the same height as me, because how will you reach at higher places in your house if you have a man as tall as I am or as tall as you are? And I didn't know what to say, but then he had a point. So, and then I asked him if he would help me find that man. And then he said yes, he will find me, he will help me find that man, but then definitely there has to be somebody taller who's going to be able to reach at the higher places in the house and help me out with other stuff as well. So my son was very, 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 like, he's a very, I don't know how to say, he's very sensitive. And he would say the most outrageous things, like, yeah, that's just Letabo. And he's 8 years, by the way, ne? Yeah, he's 8 years when he says all of that. So there was this other time once again, because when they come to my house, because they don't stay with me or with my mom and I, they stay at their place. My sister stays in Mpumalanga. So every time when they come to my house or Granny's house during holidays, he always has a question or he needs a clarity on something all the time. So there was this other time he also I did see most of their stay at my house. He kept looking at me, but then kept quiet, said nothing. And because now I know that look has a question. Before they left, and then he asked me, Auntie, can I ask you something personal? He says. I think he was 10 now. And I was like, ugh. At the back of my mind, I was like, oh my goodness, what is it this time? And then I said, sure, shoot. And then he's like, what happened to your arm and your leg and your spine? Why are they curved? Now I was very shocked that he asked that after all this time. Like, he knows me all his life, but then it was only last year when he really, really wanted to understand, why do I have a curved spine? Why do I have a curved arm? And why do I have a curved leg? And then I explained to him why I have those, which, by the way, if you also, it's the first time watching this and you don't know why I have curved arm, leg and spine, head over to my first video. That's where I'm explaining everything about me, so you can watch there, so that we can keep this video short. So yeah, I had to explain to my child, and you could see when I was explaining to him, he didn't have that thing of shame or pity me or and all of that. He was really, really concerned and interested to know, what is it, like, why am I like this? So and I think he's one of the people that motivates me a lot, because he's very, very young. He's only 12 this year. He's very, very young, but then the questions that he asks, it's the questions that most people are afraid to ask me. According to me, they are afraid to ask me. They jump to their own conclusions, or they just move on with their lives. And I really do appreciate people coming up to me to ask me these questions. So I was more than happy to explain to my child, why am I like this, or why is that like that? So those are the few stories I wanted to share with you guys before I can also get to the video properly. Now, today's video, it's going to be a little bit different. How so? The very same person that I'm talking about, Letabo, and his brother Buse, I have asked them questions, burning questions. I'd say it's burning questions. I have asked them burning questions about how do they feel about having an auntie as short as I am, or a little person auntie. And the following are the questions and the answers they gave me. So I only have 4 questions. Let's get to the first question. What's going to happen is that I will read out the question, and then, because like I explained earlier on the video, they are in Mpumalanga, they don't stay with me. So I'm gonna read out I read out a question to each, and then each of them gave me their answer to it, or how they feel about it. And sorry, and that was in a form of a voice note. So I will be playing their voice notes, read out a question, play each one's voice note. Okay, cool. So let's get to the first question. The first question was, what was your first impression of me as a little person auntie? What was your first impression of me? And this is what each of them had to say.
I thought you were a kid and you wanted to be my friend. Well, basically, I was a little baby, so I thought you were like my mom as well, like Mkhunu. You're like my second mom. That's what I thought of you.
And we get to the second question. Would you have preferred me to be as tall as your mom, or am I okay just the way I am. And this is what each of them had to say.
I actually thought that you were going to be a tall person because when I saw you first as a baby, when I was a baby, I thought that you were like a tall person that wanted to be my friend, and then I was too shy. Yeah. Well, I prefer you as a short person because God created us that way. He made us who we are. Nobody needs to judge, otherwise everybody will face the consequences.
The second last question. How do you feel when kids are staring at me or laughing at me? And this is what each of them had to say.
I feel sad because that you're my aunt and I don't want people to judge you from the way you are. I'll agree with Litabo, but I would also say something like they should not judge you about your height because God made people that way sometimes.
And the last question. What would you say to educate other kids about me or anybody who is a little person? And this is what each of them had to say.
I would say, how would you feel if everybody were looking at you like that and saying bad things at you like that if you were so small as you? And if they were as small as you, I would say, now you see, you weren't supposed to judge people from their height. How would you feel if somebody bullies you, judges you, even makes fun of your small height? I would say, then you're not a good person at all. You don't belong in heaven. You're not good. You're good for nothing than Satan himself.
Now that's how my kids felt. And to be quite honest with you guys, it was the first time me asking them these questions and them telling me about how they feel, because I do see it in them or in their faces that there are questions that they want to ask, but sometimes they really don't know how to start. And again, how I was able to see that or how I was able to tell, it's because of their level of protection against me. Like I am telling you, when I say I've got bodyguards for life, I'm talking about my nephews. I have 3 of them. I have the first one is Buse. He's 16 this year. The second one is Njabulo. He's 14 this year. And the last one, which is very inquisitive, the one that's asking me all these questions, he's Litabo. He's 12. He's what? Yeah, 12 this year. So their level of protection, I'm telling you, my boys would protect me with everything they have. Because I remember there was this other time when I was at my sister's place visiting in Mpumalanga. They had their friends over, and then their friends were surprised or shocked to see their auntie, because they said their auntie's around. And when I showed up, some ran away, some they just were out of words. And you could see that hurt my kids so much, and they even ended up chasing them away. And then they were like, we don't want to play today because you guys are out here looking at our auntie so funny. Yes, she is an adult, and yes, she's as tall as you are, and some of you guys are taller than her. It's fine, she's still our auntie. So they were very protective and saying all of those things aggressively, and I could see it's not from a bad place, but it's from a place of protecting their auntie. So hence I say I've got 3 bodyguards for life. My sons, like, they would do anything to protect me. Now this is what I would like to advise moms about a person like me, or if they're at the mall and then their child is asking questions about me and all of that, don't hit your kid, because at the mall, my mall where I stay, when kids ask moms their questions, why is that Danny so little, or this and that, the mom would just hit a child and then mistreat a child somehow. Don't do that. Explain to the child why. And then if you also don't know yourself, I would really appreciate it if both of you guys can come up to me and then I will explain, because I know how to speak with kids and I love kids and I think they like me too. So I will explain. I'm more than willing to explain to the kid. Just don't hit a kid or mistreat a kid, because it hurts me at the end of the day that the kid wants to know and then you are preventing the kid from knowing. Unless if your kid vele ustot, I loy ongamshaya ke loyo, because of course you do get kids, even moms, that would be laughing at me or a person like me or similar to me. Loyo ke I ongamshaya because ustot. But the ones that really, really want to know why is auntie or Tani this little, please do explain to them. Or if you don't know what to say or how to start, come up to me with your kid. I'll be more than willing to explain. This is to the moms that want to know, how do you tell if your child, or you have given birth to a child that would end up being like me, or that had osteogenesis imperfecta. Once again, at childbirth, you can tell the pupil of your kid or your child or your newborn, instead of it being black or brown, it will be blue. Not even green, it would be blue. That's how you would tell that the child was born with osteogenesis imperfecta. And then if you do see that, msheshisele umntanakho asemncane, because it tends to be quite tricky uma semdala. So msheshisele esemncane and then get the child all the help that they need. I want to leave you guys with this quote. It's a quote that I wrote, and I hope you learn something from it. Yeah, or get something from it. It's that education is better than speculation. Get informed to get with the program. So please don't always speculate. Educate yourself so that you can be a better informed and a better human being to everyone around you, whether physically challenged or not. You just need to get informed before you can jump to any conclusions at all. Now I hope you have enjoyed today's video, and a special thank you to my kids. I know it was very, very hard for them to send me these voice notes because they felt like but thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it, and I hope your kids learn something from what my kids said. They even educated me because I didn't know. Like I said, this is how they felt all along. And I have none of my family members have asked them how do they feel about having an auntie as short as I am. And it's really an exclusive footage. Even their parents and my mom, it's going to be the first time they hear how the kids really feel about having an auntie as short as I am. So I'm really, really, really grateful to that. And I hope that nengane zenu nazo, when they come across abantu abafana nathi, abahleki, abayenzi lokuya nalokuya, but instead they want to know more so that they can be better adults mabakhula, hayi kube yilabe bastoked, right? So with that said, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe subscribe, like, share, and even comment. I will comment back. That's for sure. That one I will do. And thank you. Bye. And don't forget, the aim is never to take away from anything, but for you to take away something from everything I said.